Holy Affliction. This is a new combination of words that was given to me by the heavens. I received it one night. I had no idea of the depth of the meaning of these two words, and I wanted to find out more. I looked online. I could not find the combination of holy and affliction together. I saw sacred affliction, which is something I had heard of before, and I'm going to talk about a little bit here. But sacred affliction did not take on the full reflection of what I believe holy affliction to mean. Holy affliction is holy, one perfect in righteousness. And there's only one person that fits that bill, that's Jesus Christ. Affliction being suffering, any type. So you put the two together, Jesus suffering. When Jesus was on the cross, he suffered not only the pain of the crucifixion, but he also suffered by experiencing, as he hung there dying, every sin or suffrage of mankind. All of them. All at once. And then he took all the sins to hell. And then he was resurrected. From that moment on, life and life choices became somewhat easier for mankind to follow because we had an example. We had Jesus to follow. And we had all the words eventually written down so that generation after generation could follow those same good examples. All we had to do was believe. And that seems like an easy choice until you add into the equation the evil one. When Adam committed the first sin, he and Eve were deceived by Satan, and all of us inherited that sin. Sin will stay with us until Jesus returns again. But God had a plan. He came to earth as a man, and that provided us a way out of sin. In forgiveness, through confession and repentance, and sacred affliction. Now I'm going to throw that in there now. Sacred relates to the human process of connecting to or being dedicated to God. So unlike holy, which was Jesus, sacred is us, the people. And again, affliction is all types of suffering. It might be illness. It might be distress or pain. Sometimes the freedom of choice that God gave us puts us in a position to endure suffering. And other times, it's a gift of love from God to help us grow in life on earth so our soul and spirit can be with God in our other life, the holy eternity. And you might ask, how does that happen again? Through my pain and suffering? Let me throw a few things out there on pain and suffering that show growth. Pain and suffering may prevent a larger sin from occurring that's farther out. And it doesn't allow us to get to that point. It may pull us out of an existing sin. It may help us to forgive in our hearts. It may break us from being hard-headed and not following God's will because we know better. It may help guide us through the bends and turns to fulfill God's will and the full potential He has for us. It may humble us. It may help us have empathy for others who are suffering. It may provide a testimony or an example for others to see and follow. Pain and suffering may help another find their way in another matter. It is us as like a sacrifice. And sometimes it's just the collective force of something on earth, like maybe in your family or your community or say the nation, where afflictions of poverty and famine and war exist. And the idea is that the whole, at some point, will move forward in a better direction by this affliction. The end result is that we grow in righteousness as best as we can to become closer to God. We can't always see what we're looking at, but we have to trust. And that takes us back to the Holy Affliction. There's not a pain or sorrow that Jesus does not suffer with us. He is there with us. He is comforting us in ways that we don't even know. But God didn't mean for us to have pain. But through His love and inside of the big picture, He knew that there were going to be times on earth when we had to experience affliction. For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worth comparing with the glory that is to be revealed to us. Sufferings are here, glory is way up here, Romans 8:18. More than that, we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. Romans 5:34. And though our outer self is wasting away, our inner self is being renewed day by day as we look not to the things that are seen, but to the things that are unseen. For the things that are seen are transient, part-time, temporary. But the things that are unseen are eternal. And I've talked about that before in articles. Rejoice as you, 2 Corinthians 4:16-18. Rejoice is the big word as you share in the sufferings of Christ, so that you may also rejoice when His glory is revealed. It's all about not what's here right now. It's about what's there. It's where we're going. And it all is based on one thing: knowing that God's intent is love. Knowing that God's intent is love. His love drives this whole wheel. And He wants all of us up in heaven. Thanks a lot for watching. It was a project for the day. Holy Affliction. Something that was itching in me to really get into it and find out what does it mean. They tell you something. You hear the words coming from the heavens. What does it mean? It's our duty to figure it out. And then it's our duty to share. With that, please feel free to share. Like, if you like this type of stuff. Hit the like button. Subscribe. God bless.